there. My name is Marcel, and on behalf of Astromatrix, I'm here today to explore the Venus retrograde with you. That is going to be taking place over around 40 days from the 23rd of July to September the 4th. So Venus, what is Venus? Venus is about love, it's about desire, it's about money, value. And when Venus goes retrograde, it's a period where all of those themes, we go inwards and we explore them from a more personal level. So wherever Venus is moving through your chart, as well as the houses that Venus rules in your chart, those are the areas that are going to come up for examination. So the rulers of Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So go to your Astromatrix app and see which houses rule. So which houses are ruled by Taurus and Venus. And then look to see where Venus is in your chart, and you will be able to tie together a story of what is going to be playing out for you. So what's interesting to become aware of is the fact that we have the transiting North Node. It's shifting from Taurus into Aries over the next week. And it has been in Taurus, the North Node has been in Taurus for the last 2 years, really examining our values, our resources, our sense of stability, and our wealth, and what that means for us. But it has not been a simple process because of the South Node in Scorpio, which means that we have come up against power struggles, secrecy, deception, things not flowing clearly, things not being clear. Of course, that is the more negative side of Scorpio, which is generally what the South Node represents and what we're needing to move away from in order for us to become more aligned with our values, our resources, and what allows us to feel abundant. So this theme has been playing out for us for 2 years, and we're on this trajectory in our lives. Things are unfolding. Life is always trying to teach us new lessons in order to take us to where it is that we're needing to evolve to. And so with this Venus retrograde, we will be exploring themes around our finances, wealth, those Taurus themes, finances, wealth, love, and what our values are. So Venus is a feminine planet, and there's strong themes around femininity, around how it is that we connect to our values as women. And of course, this applies to all of us because we might be women, but if we're men, we do have that feminine side to us as well. And so as men, you can explore, how is it that I love? What is it that I value in my life? And so if we're not clear about these things, this can be a period where themes come up for us, forcing us to examine and to get clearer on what that means for us. So generally, Venus in Leo is very outgoing, very gregarious, the life of the party. Leo is a very outward sign. It's very creative, it's playful, loves attention, it seeks validation. But as I mentioned, when Venus goes retrograde, it becomes internalized. And the question we can ask ourselves is, how can I give this validation and attention to myself? So the Venus retrograde, if you have any planets, in personal planets, in Aries or Sagittarius, you potentially experience trines with Venus. Now, trines are aspects of harmony and they are of balance. They're more flowing, and these can be periods where you experience things unfolding in a healthier, supportive way. However, if you have personal planets in Taurus or Scorpio, these will be experiencing squares and to Venus. And this can be a period where you experience tension, things not flowing properly, difficulties, internal difficulties especially. So what's interesting as well is that at some point when Venus retrogrades, again, for the second time, she's going to be hitting Lilith. Now Lilith is also a very feminine sign. However, she's the abandoned or forgotten woman. In the mythological archetype. She's known as the whore. She is the rejected woman, and so for some, there may be themes coming up around that. Potentially something all of us have experienced as women, and potentially for you men out there, there may be themes for you having witnessed these themes playing out. So perhaps even exploring the idea of, what does it mean to reject that inner feminine within myself, that more creative, chaotic side to me. How am I always trying to control things instead of allowing that force of creative nature, that sexual force, to have its own expression? So again, there may be themes coming up around this Lilith theme, which has to do with those parts of ourselves that have been rejected, shamed, scorned, and cast aside, around love, around our values. And so these are strong themes that we're needing to examine during this period. Now, what's interesting is that we also have Jupiter as well as Uranus moving through Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus for some time now. Uranus is the planet of shock, disruption, also revolutionary change. It wants freedom. Jupiter is about expansion. So with Jupiter moving through Taurus, this potentially has to do with our finances, our resources, our wealth, our sense of stability. And Jupiter doesn't like to be in Taurus. So we may find, because it's a fixed sign and it is about stability, whereas Jupiter is all about expansion. So this may be a period where things are not flowing as easily as what they should. We may feel a little bit stuck. It may feel like we're trying to walk through quicksand, sinking instead of moving forward. But it's a period where we're really, really needing to get clear and slow down and examine our choices and really get clear on what our values are in order to take the next steps. So again, looking to see which houses Venus lies in, as well as Venus's rulers, Taurus and Libra. See which houses those rule in order to get a theme around what's going to be playing out. And it can be anything from relationships, love, partnerships. It can be family dynamics, but it can also be connected to work and finances, projects that you're working on. And the question to ask is, am I valuing myself here? Am I connected to my values? Am I connected to my desires? What are my desires? And is this being honored in reciprocation with whoever it is that we're interacting with, whether it is our work environment or our colleagues or our family or our relationships or just ourselves? So lots of inquiry, unpacking these themes over the next 40 days. And if it's of any use, it's going to be beneficial when Venus comes into a square with both Uranus and Jupiter, because this is going to shake things up. When Venus squares Uranus, this can bring very intense shocks and disruptions. There can be endings. Because Venus is going retrograde, this is generally a period where old relationships can come back into your life, or old themes that you're needing to re-examine in order to heal, balance, or release. So I've got my tarot cards here, and I'm going to do a little reading just to explore some of the themes that may be coming up during this Venus retrograde. And this is a reading on behalf of the collective, exploring the Venus retrograde themes. So this is a reading on behalf of the collective, exploring the Venus retrograde themes. So the questions that I'm asking on behalf of the collective, exploring the Venus retrograde themes, are: what is Venus in Leo showing us? So remember, Venus has been moving through Leo. It goes retrograde at 28 degrees. So it's been in Leo all this time, and we may have noticed those parts of ourselves that are seeking validation and acknowledgement. So when it starts going retrograde, we're needing to examine that within ourselves and see how we're able to give it to ourselves. So, but on behalf of the collective, what has Venus in Leo been showing us? Okay. So the next question is, what is Venus working to reveal to us in this retrograde motion? What is Venus wanting to reveal to us in this retrograde motion? Okay. Where is this transit leading us? Understanding that something is unfolding here. It's all in continuum. So what is this transit? Where is this transit leading us? Okay. And what area of our lives are we needing to re-examine our values? What area of our lives are we needing to re-examine our values? What area of our lives are we needing to re-examine our values? Okay. All right. So the first question, what is Venus and Leo showing us? And we have the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands has to do with, it's a very creative card, and it has to do with perseverance. So with regards to our desires and with regards to the finances, considering that Venus rules Taurus and Taurus has been, the North Node has been in Taurus, we've really been exploring the themes of our values. This Venus in Leo is really challenging us to persevere with our desires and with what we value, what it is that we want to create in our life. The next question is, what is Venus working to reveal to us in retrograde motion? So we have the Lovers here, and for me what this is, what's coming up around this is around relationships. So it's very helpful to look at the relationships that we have in our lives as an understanding of what it's mirroring back to us about ourselves. And so it shows us, are we being valued? Are we being honored? Is this what I desire in terms of working relationships, love relationships, friendship relationships? The next question is, what is this transit? Where is this transit leading us? And we have the Fool card, which is the card of new beginnings. And it's about this, the Fool's journey. You know, there's a death that's happened, things have ended, and new things are starting. New things are beginning in our lives. It's a new journey that we're embarking on. It's a reinvention of ourselves. And the final card, what area of our lives are we needing to re-examine, where we're needing to re-examine our values? And it's interesting because we have the 6 of Wands. So again, it's around the area of creativity, creating in our lives. And it has to do with success. So this, you know, Venus being about our desires, it's really challenging us to explore, what does success mean for us in our lives, in terms of our desires, in terms of what we love. You know, the question is, are we compromising ourselves? Are we stuck in power struggles? Are we in dynamics that are serving us, serving our highest good? And so those are the 4 cards that have popped up around that. And I have one more card. These are the Lenormand cards, just as an outcome card, a final outcome card with regards to this Venus retrograde. And let's see what comes up. And we have Lily. Lily, interestingly enough, is about our virtues and our values and our morals. And it also has to do with our sensuality. So this can be a theme that's important to explore. What does sensuality mean for you in your life? What is your sensual connection to your reality? How interactive are you with your environment? Sensuality isn't just a sexual thing. It's also very much it's a presence. It's about a presence with the elements in your life. So I hope these cards shed some light on your situation, and I do wish you all the best with your journey. And it's always helpful to get a reading from a trained professional astrologer to get a deeper sense for what's playing out during this time. With these transits, we need to know what's going on for us personally in order to take action. These general readings, these general transits readings that I've just given now, it covers on a more mundane level, but not for you specifically. So if there is confusion around what's playing out for you, do reach out through the app and book a reading to get a deeper sense for what's playing out. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best with your journey. Bye for now.